and do what strategy has requested of us. Ouch, you motherfucker! Why are you so fucking... Why did the games do that? Okay, let's see here. Options, audio. The music is at fucking 30%, and that's how loud you are. Fuck me sideways. Give me like 20%, okay? Let's put this at 20% as well, and voices, let's put those at 30%. Yes, we have a bit of a special little thing going on today. We're gonna play this. It is sponsored once more solely by Strategy, who has bought me the game and asked me to play it with, well, French language. And I checked, you can actually tell the game to talk to you in French and have the text in English, so you can understand what's going on. I am not happy. I'm not happy at all. In fact, I'm deliberately unhappy at this moment. But since I actually don't know if the internet will last and when it will come back, if it doesn't, I will use this opportunity to fulfill my promises of, you know, if you grant me something, I will actually try to engage with it. As much as it hurts me. Don't expect me to play this for very long. It's not like I'm opposed to the Asterix and Obelix series in and of itself. I did like some of the comics, mind you. Did like some of the movies, mind you. A long time ago, but I have a distinct feeling that this particular game and its predecessors are not necessarily the greatest examples of their kind. So I'll try to keep it down. I'll click on the new game button. And, well. I wasn't actually expecting to be streaming today. I was still on the profound belief that the internet had abandoned me in a total. I should say I'm, you know, like at least 3 beers down, because I haven't really slept yet, and I don't need to somewhat manage my strength for today. And also some other things I want to talk about, but that will have to wait until we get to the talky part, so to speak. So for the moment we shall just normal. Normal seems good, and oh, there's a co-op mod here. Well, the problem is I don't actually know if strategy will drop by at any point. It is, as I said, it's fucking Sunday. It's not even, you know, 12 o'clock, so some people might actually have a life outside of just sitting at home and watching streams, which might be a good reason to not be available. So, as I said, we shall play it solo for the moment. I hope I can change that later on. And I guess then we're going to wait until this fucking thing loads. As I said, don't expect me to do this for long. Basically, you know, I was just sitting around, enjoying my night. Watching some anime. 86 to be precise. It's called 86, I'm pretty sure it's called 86. While drinking some beer in a very, very, very slow manner, to the point where even I had to actually finish the beer before it got completely stale, let's just say. Which is why I'm only 3 beers in. Now you might be like, how do you do this without any internet? Well, unbelieving sons and daughters of humankind, I have an external drive full of anime. Literally. Like a dozen series or so on there. And it exists for no other reason.
Nous sommes en 50 avant Jésus-Christ. Toute la Gaule est occupée par les Romains. Toute? Non. Un village
fuck you.
irréductible gaulois résiste encore et toujours à l'envahisseur.
I already hate myself.
Profitons de cette belle journée pour leur rendre une petite visite. Voici le chef Asterix, aujourd'hui sans ses porteurs. Assurance Tourix, le barde, tente de composer une chanson douce, comme lui chantait sa maman. Et Panoramix, le druide, nourrit ses colombes. Bref, rien, mais alors rien ne laisse présager que de sombres événements se préparent.
I
Et
hate
que de
myself
terribles
already.
épreuves attendent une fois encore nos amis Astérix et Obélix, les deux plus valeureux guerriers du village. Ah oui, au fait, où sont-ils nos héros?
Le garum lupus.
Ça veut bien dire garolou, Astérix.
Non, Obélix. Le garum, c'est le condiment et lupus est le nom du fabricant. Bon,
I
rentrons au
hate
village
myself.
et passons prendre des nouvelles de Panoramix, notre druide.
Notre druide marche bien mieux depuis qu'il ne tombe plus des arbres.
Ou que personne ne lui lance de menhir. Hein, Obélix?
This is some of the worst language I've ever heard in my fucking life. This French thing. I don't know, but it is torturing my poor soul at this very moment. Also, don't worry that we're not moving, I'm just preparing a pipe. You know. Not even going to smoke it right now. It feels kind of sacrilege. But to light it to some fucking Frenchies doing French. Now let's see. Is this... Can I use my controller for this one? Well, it seems I can. My X button does nothing. That does something. I can punch things. I do not feel justified in my life choices just yet, but... Shit, my life choices. I do not appreciate my life choices at all. And in fact, I do the opposite of appreciating my life choices. At the moment, I would rather kill myself, probably. What was that? Why does French need to be a thing? I do wonder why on that screen of the French needs to be a thing. Greetings. Well, got no notification. Wait a second, did I not? Give me a second, strategy. You should have gotten one. Strategy, where are you? Strategy, where are you? Yeah, strategy. You should have gotten one, but I can't really deny. Yes, strategy, it does. It does have the option of playing in French language, and I'm doing it just as I promised, because, well, I suddenly found myself getting internet. I'm not gonna play this for too long today, I'll be honest with you. I'm basically... I will openly admit to 3 beers. Over the past night. November's always been a rough month for me, so I have a tendency to indulge in my drinks a bit too much. So I haven't really slept yet. I just realized I had internet, and I'm fucking gonna make the best of it. So we're gonna play this for a bit today. Then I'm gonna sit down and do some talking, because I finally set up the second channel. It is indeed the IRA, as promised. And it's going to get its first upload in roughly, I think, an hour or so, with the first 2 hours or so of me just rambling. So I now have an incentive to create more rambling, so we will switch over to talking in a little bit, because I would actually like to talk a little bit in my very, very sane state of mind. But first, as promised, we're gonna play this, and I hope there's a cutscene soon so you can see some Frenchies, you can actually get the text language to English and the spoken language to French, and the intro alone already gave me cancer, so... Well, congratulations, you just gave me cancer. I hope you're ready and willing to pay the medical bills that I will have in my near future. Yeah, you told me to jump over there. How do I do this? I need to use Asterix, don't I? Can I not jump over there? Jump from rock to rock? Yeah. Never play games while you're already drunk. That is not a good idea. Okay. Just... Okay, that worked. Good. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting morning, and well, let's just say, children, I'm not a good example to strive towards. Because if you find yourself on a Sunday morning at not even 11 o'clock and you're already drunk, officially by only 3 beers, are probably doing something that you're not supposed to do.
Obelix, t'arrive-t-il de penser à autre chose?
It's French. It's French. Why I'm doing myself this? Why do I allow people to force me to play like this? I don't even know, but I'm doing it now.
Il y a du sanglier par ici.
Okay, I have special skills. You know what this reminds me of? You know what, we're actually going to take a look at it at some point, because I would rather find that amusing, to be completely fair and honest. And there's some very nice little things like Werner that the German language has produced in its time, and I do think it is a nice opportunity to engage with that as well at some point. But oh well, opportunity side.
Je n'ai pas assez d'énergie pour ça.
But we will see. I'm also probably going to open another beer while we're there.
Salut à toi, oh Panoramix, notre druide.
Bonjour, mes amis. Comment s'est passée la chasse ce matin? Justement, je me sens un peu faible en ce moment, Panoramix. J'aurais bien besoin d'un petit remontant. Obelix, je ne sais pas si je te l'ai déjà dit, mais je ne peux pas te donner de potion magique. Tu es tombé dedans quand tu étais petit. Et...
Oh voleur! Oh voleur! C'est Pneumatix, le facteur.
Que t'arrive-t-il, Pneumatix?
Dans la forêt, on m'a volé ma sacoche avec tout le courrier du village à l'intérieur.
Des voleurs de courrier? Ah, ça c'est un coup des Romains, ça ne fait pas un pli.
Pourquoi les Romains voleraient-ils notre courrier, Obelix? Ne dis pas n'importe quoi.
Ils sont
Might have done me so. Okay, let's wait until the cutscene is over and we will take a look.
à la lettre. Si ça, c'est pas des
You will have to excuse me if I play this for... I don't think I can handle more like an hour of French in this particular state I'm in, so... I'm not saying we'll never play this again, mind you, but... This one hurts my ears. Hard. Really does. Why?
Astérix, Obélix, allez faire un tour dans la forêt et tenter de résoudre ce mystère.
You know what? I'm gonna make this into a paid fucking goal in the future. I can already see myself doing this. Shall I play now of this? Well, pay me $50 or so, because fuck my life. Jesus Christ. You don't understand how much French grates on the ears. Unless you have it in your fucking headphones, in which case, oh boy, are you fucked. But let's see here. Check your mails. I will check my mails. Oh, I see. Okay, let's activate it. Shit, now I need to actually fucking apply. I need to change the goal and strategy. Why are you doing this to me while you know I'm not in a state to do so? Oh well. Yeah, there. Let's do this. Okay. I can do this. I swear I can do this. How did I do this again? Okay, we now have it, which means I need to go over here. Because I made up the original price, of course, well, considering all of the games. Okay, so let's see. The original price was 40 bucks for a playthrough, wasn't it? And that was... What did I think of? Right, this was the first one and the second one, plus the game time. Means I now need to fucking reduce it by fucking 10 bucks. How do I do this again? There it is. Okay. Well, first and foremost, thank you very much, of course, because that brings us one step closer to actually playing this. Even if it's just one, yes, I will probably engage with it sooner or later. You do have my word, and now I'm going to have to change this into... Come here. What you do what I tell you, Side. Side is like, no, I will not. It's like, okay, give me a second. Now, of course, since I now own one of those, it would be rather unfair of me to actually ask you to pay full price for that. That would be rather churlish, and I'm not that churlish, for the most part. So I'm going to change that. That's not the right button. Like this. Because now, of course, it will cost, well, a whooping 10 bucks less, because I basically assumed 10 bucks for one, 10 bucks for the other, and, well, 20 bucks for playing him to a reasonable degree of completion, by which I've been playing through them and not going out at the first, basically, bad end I can find. But it is basically all I can reasonably promise. But well, since I now own one, it wouldn't be really fair of me to ask for the, well, price of both games and the playtime involved. That seems kinda churlish. So I have now, strange as it might be, just changed it. It took a moment longer than I had anticipated, but I changed it and that is all well and good. So thank you very much for the strategy. Because that means that no matter if we actually reach the end of the goal by the end of the month, actually, because I usually set things up until the end of the year, and I kind of forgot that we already had last month of the year, so yeah, even if we not reach the end of the month, the end of the year, we will just gotta take a look at it. Maybe cursory look, but I'll still leave the option out for forcing me to enjoy more of that, basically. For the moment, let's go through more French. Probably. I have a distinct hope that this game is not that much voice acted, but let's just say my hopes are kinda, you know, they are there, but that's all they are. How do I get where I need to go? Good question. Yo, Chief. You feeling good? Probably he feels good. A Sonic goal would feel good.
Obelix.
Moi, j'aime bien prendre mon...
Jabby on yourself, bitch. Jabby on yourself most
Tu penses qu'on
profoundly.
va trouver des Romains, Obélix?
Oh oui, on en trouve toujours dans les forêts en cette saison.
Considering the time frame there's a set in, there is always going to be a Roman season, because, well, the Romans are kind of ever-present, aren't they? Oh, well. Well, all other jokes aside, let us once again be thankful for little strategy and his, well, quite deep pockets. One can only say. As that does give us an opportunity to engage with something else in a bit. Even if only in a cursory fashion for the moment. I really should up the up my pricing scheme at some point, but so far I have been unable to come up with a good system. But hey, I was at least capable of using what little internet nerd has for this to set up everything else. I promised I would set up, so that's probably a good sign. Perhaps, potentially, one can hope. But Hopes and dreams, as they say. Hopes and dreams indeed. Also means that you now get a nice little travel bag. You can just enjoy all of the ramblings, of which we're going to, I hope at least, get one more done of today. I actually have 2 interesting topics to talk about. Well, technically speaking 3.
Viens voir, Astérix. Il défixe à trouver quelque chose.
Des bouts de marbre, c'est le courrier de Pneumatix. Il semble indiquer le camp de petits bonhommes.
Attends-moi ici, Astérix. Je vais chercher le courrier. Je ne serai...
Et une seconde, Obelix. Et si pour une fois on leur demandait poliment aux Romains, en arrivant au camp, on pourrait frapper avant d'entrer, par exemple?
C'est ce que je comptais faire, Astérix. Quand je serai devant lui, je frapperai le garde avant d'entrer. Bon, je ne savais pas que ça s'appelait demander poliment, mais si tu le dis... Chic, 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 des Romains.
What is your word for good shit? And you would never hate the fucking French language? There you have a nice example. The game tells me like goody, 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 and then I reach, then I hear cheat, cheat, cheat. French language, I tell you. Ah, French. Such a cursed language. Such a cursed language indeed. For some reason, it still exists to this day. We should have eradicated this particular kind of people and the language a long time ago.
C'est ce que j'appelle une bonne bagarre.
How can one language sound so fucking gay? Petty bonum. Well, that sounds at least Latin, which is a quite major improvement compared to, oh, I don't know, French. What was that button again for? Oh, yeah, that. Yes. But you see, the problem is the Germans only tried because usually other people got in the way of us eradicating the fucking Frenchies, so I blame the rest of the world for this particular problem. Germany at least tried to get rid of these motherfuckers. See, we could all speak reasonable languages, but no. For some reason, everybody took offense when the Germans tried to fucking get rid of the Frenchies. And here we are today, still having French people around. Crime against humanity. Give me some fucking health.
Vite, ne perdons pas de temps.
Je taperai bien quelques Romains, moi.
Look, this is 2 dudes speaking. How can it sound so fucking gay? It's amazing, isn't it? Ah, it's almost like the old fucking language just aims to do it. That's honestly quite amazing. Yeah, but at least we're fucking women, sis. Because mind you, there's a reason why fucking French women are so fetishized. The French language, gay as it might be, lends itself very well to, well, talking in very sensual ways, which works wonders for women, but really doesn't go well for men. Literally not. Jesus Christ. Well, we arrived at Petty Bodum. Much as say, glimmer in the dark. Not only name-wise, but hopefully speak-wise, because of course all of these Romans should be speaking Latin and not French. Sadly, I don't think they... Yeah. Sadly, I don't think the game is going to be that accurate, historically speaking. Actually, there is no game that even claims that it speaks Latin, because, well, it's a fucking dead language, and it's kinda hard to get voice actors doing a dead language. I know, shocking. Very shocking. And again, to be fair, you could probably just take some Italians and give them the script, and they'll probably get at least closer than most others, so... Oh well. Ace Combat. Was there any Latin in Ace Combat? The one that we played? I don't fucking remember. To be fair, yes, some of the lyrics of the songs, you are absolutely right. There is some Latin in there. But as I said, there is literally no one who actually speaks Latin, as it is indeed a dead language. The only ones who are country enough to use both Old Greek and Latin is people like doctors. Also because they're assholes. But yeah, there is some Latin in music actually. There's actually a surprising amount of German in some foreign music. Because of course, if you're not speaking German, German sounds fucking amazing and it can be very well used in music, and there are some quite good examples, but let's not go there. Let's not go there, shall we? Poor Romans. I'm just doing their fucking duty, man. Being Romans and shit. But yeah, there is literally no, and at least I haven't heard of any voice actor willing to claim that they would be willing to do a whole character in Latin. It would be kind of amazing, honestly. If you were to make a game in a Roman setting and you would actually have your voice actors actually speak Latin, no matter how much they bangle it, I'd just, well, if I had the money, that is, buy the game out of the sheer interest in, you know, that particular fact. Because, you know, pretty fucking awesome. To mention, I mean, obviously, as I said, the only people who actively use both the ancient Greek and Latin in any actual reasonable capacity are doctors and shit. Because, well, a lot of the sicknesses and shit are actually named in Latin and Old Greek. Same actually with parts of your bodies, which all have nice little sounding, easier, well, for the most part, old as Greek names. But you might just sit there and go like, but why? Why would you make yourself, your own life such suffering? But, well. Don't ask me, they just decided that they wanted to be a community of fucking ass wipes. Is the only thing I can kind of come up with. Oops. Which is why, at least in Germany, if you want to get a medical degree, part of the things that you need to bring along in order to actually get a chance at getting into one of these courses is to actually bring about the, what's that called again, the large Latinum, which is basically the extended learning of the Latin course that you can take in school. I'm not a fucking doctor, but I remember reading about this and going like, yeah, that sounds just assholeish enough, doesn't it? Because, you know, you could just call it a blood vessel, but you could also call it, I don't even fucking know what to call it in Latin, but you get the fucking idea, don't you? Which is why I appreciate my doctor, who is very well capable of understanding that it's kinda assholeish to use a language that your patient does not speak in order to explain what he has potentially been suffering from. And still does so nonetheless, because fuck you, that's why. No, to be fair, he actually has a lot of fun with that, with his friends, that is. Not so much with his normal patients, but, you know. Beep, 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 beep. Fun guy. Now I'll speed up to 10, because there's probably another one in there or something in there. No, doesn't seem like it's good. Thinking of this particular franchise, the Asterix and Obelix franchise, I did enjoy some of the comics. In fact, I actually had to undertake quite a bit of troublesome acquisition to get some of the older comics for a customer of mine once. Because some of these comics are ridiculously sought after, to the point where it becomes actually kind of difficult to get your hands on them at a reasonable price. Of course, I'm not the kind of person who's deterred by that, and I did kind of stock the newer ones, and read some of the newer ones, because, well, you know, if you already have them on hand, why wouldn't you? So, yeah, no reason to complain, I suppose. Too much, at the very least. Sagittarius. What a nice little symbol for that. More Sagittarius. Now, technically speaking, that symbol is not really telling too much. It could be Velite, after all. Then again, I don't think I do think the what were they called? The trying to do this by not completely. Pressure of mind is kind of difficult, to be fair. Basically, there aren't really that many Roman units that do not kind of, to some degree, use a fucking spear, because, well, spears are kind of useful. I could be wrong, it isn't dissing the poor little gladius that the Romans come up with, because the gladius is actually a pretty solid improvement as far as swords go. I think what I was looking for was Principe. Pretty sure it was Principe. Oh well. Another topic for another day, I suppose. I do that I can just punch them into the sky. That is rather nice, I must admit. Bit churlish though. Bit churlish. Ah, the poor Romans. At least in this particular setting. In reality, the Romans weren't poor at all. In fact, the Romans were actually quite well positioned, far as, well, I also love that they just leave their greaves behind for some mystical reason. Like, they just get punched off their fucking legs. Which, to be considering that the Romans, the Roman legionaries do kinda wear skirts, is kinda interesting. Well, you know, just saying, you know, just saying. I collect some secrets. Well, as I said, we'll actually for once try to not play this particularly to completion, but honestly just so we can claim that we have played it for now. And then only come back as a punishment, because let's be honest here, I don't want to see the rest of the story with stored fucking French. I'll be very honest here, no question about it. Now listen, the classical Roman legionnaire, if you see him in any sort of media, he's always gonna wear that telling skirt. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's gay or anything. I'm in fact gonna say that, you know, in that particular set of attire, yeah, that works for them. That works for them pretty fucking well. And this is a nice identifiable sort of uniform, I suppose. Which also does work pretty well for them. As I said, you know, don't expect me to be completely and above today, because, well, as I said, you know, I'm officially down 3 beers already. Let's not talk about what else I did on this particular night. So don't expect me to be too coherent, but I still kind of want to use the opportunity to create some more rambling, so... I'm not about to miss my opportunity now, will I? Really speaking, I do like the simple fact that it gives you something easily identifiable. To make sure that, you know, if you look at that, you know, you see the red, you maybe see a wolf skin here and there, and you're like, ah, yes, look, that's a Roman fucking legionnaire. Easy, simple, and no problems whatsoever. I like it. I'm assuming all of these are vilities, which would then beg the question why they're not throwing their spears, but... oh well, fuck me sideways. There's actually another game we do need to play at some point in the near future, another one of strategies, of course, gifts. What was it called? It was another Rome title, Rome Expeditions? I have it installed and just haven't gotten around to playing it yet, and by the time I wanted to play it, my fucking internet was decisively uncooperative, to put it mildly. I have no idea how the fuck that will work out. But I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'll say that much. Come on, you bitches. Okay, so is there any reason why opening this is any good? Probably not. I'm just bashing myself through this fucking camp for no fucking reason. I'm just violent. I mean, technically speaking, it doesn't really matter why you choose a particular color. The only reason that you would in any way, shape or form change anything is because, of course, you realize, well, I kind of want to distinguish my troops from the enemy's troops, especially if you're a rebel faction and you're kind of wearing the same armor. And then it's usually just done because the ingredients you need to actually create a coloring agent, something to color your uniforms with, is widely available. So if he chose green, then that probably was because there was an easy way to dye your uniforms in a green tone. Honestly, if I were to take an educated guess. Yeah, you know, people don't really choose things because of aesthetics, more so because availability is far more important. You really do need to distinguish your own troops from the enemy, especially if you're basically using the same troops. And you know, if you have people in red fighting people in red, people will get confused, so you just take what you can get easily enough. It's probably gonna be that. Right, to technical grade, because that just takes precedence in most cases, honestly. But of course, you don't know. Oh well. Yes, I mean, symbolism is nice and all, but symbolism doesn't beat practicality. And practicality is, I have now troops that are the same as the enemy's troops, and I can't really distinguish them, so I can't even make any sort of distinction. So, yeah, I want something that is easily available, that can dye my clothing, so I can distinguish. That's almost, I would say 90% sure that's probably the main reason for why you would go for that. Or any particular color that is. He probably would have taken fucking, you know, fucking gold or something as a color. Which sounds like a horrible idea now that I think about it. But he would probably have taken it if it is easy enough to dye your clothing in. Because, you know, practicality beats pretty much everything else when it comes to actual battle. But well, you know. Well, yeah, purple was always been a bit of a special color. Just why the Praetorian Guard, who has a bit of a history of being, you know, at some point I really don't want to sit down and just do a bit of a whole history stream where we basically just talk about the Roman Empire in its different stages and the adventures of the Praetorian Guard, who was, of course, the most loyal of institutions to ever have instituted in all of their incantations. They would have never betrayed anyone, would they now? Oh god, you could have so much fun just talking about that for fucking hours on end, but... At some point... Yeah, very loyal. The most loyal, don't you really understand? They are the Praetorian Guard. They're wearing the special colors. They are not loyal. We would be loyal. Yeah, just don't try to pay them less than what they're getting already. As I said, we really should do this. Just, you know, have a basically just chatty kind of stream where we just talk, you know, for a few hours about the Roman Empire and some of its more interesting aspects. You could have a lot of fun with that. I really do. There's so much fun to be had there. But well, for today we have good reason to return to some topic that we talked about in the past, and it's going to be it's going to give me an opportunity to drink one more beer, which is probably not a good idea because I'm pretty much sure that I'm like 1 or 2 beers away from falling unconscious, but
Elle a fini de rire.
Yeah, I'm
et la
gonna take the
grande
opportunity.
prêtresse de la lointaine, très lointaine île de Tulé. Nous nous sommes rencontrés il y a fort longtemps à
In
Barcelone.
Hispania, you say?
C'était
My.
lors d'un programme d'échange sur la culture ibère. Je m'en souviens très bien. C'est mon ami le druide Ipéfix qui nous avait présenté.
I still hate it and my ears are bleeding at this point.
Elle est ici.
Oh,
Comment
my
vous dire?
ears.
Elle était tellement...
Why French? Why do you need to be a thing?
Oui, bon, et que te veut-elle, cette là finie de rire après toutes ces années?
Attendez, voyons voir. Partout Atis, elle a besoin d'aide. Elle craint de se faire kidnapper par les Romains.
Voilà pourquoi les Romains ont volé mon courrier, pour empêcher que cet appel au secours arrive jusqu'à toi, Panoramix.
Alors il faut l'aider. Mais comment la retrouver? Alors elle doit déjà être prisonnière des Romains. Elle peut être retenue n'importe où dans l'Empire.
Well, yes, I can tell you the next time I'm going to play this, in this particular setup, it will cost people money because this fucking
C'est pas
hurts.
le plat qu'on avait mangé chez les Ménapiens en Belgique? Le Schneffel el Gatschokul, le roc sacré de
The Schniffelhelger Jökull.
capable de nous indiquer où
That's a
elle se
word and a half.
Pour que vous compreniez, mes amis, il faut que je vous raconte l'histoire du Schneffel el Gatschokul.
And it sounds even gayer in fucking French.
Chut, Obélix.
Il y a quelques années, pour protéger son île et ses habitants, elle a taillé un roc capable de maîtriser les éléments comme la glace ou le feu.
See, this would be impressive.
L'autre de ses
Cutting
particularités
good transfer.
est qu'il peut aussi pointer en direction de sa créatrice,
Ah.
qu'elle soit. C'est la pointe du progrès.
Et ce roc sacré sur l'île de Tulé?
Non, Astérix, il est ici. Pas ici.
Also, I think before we're going to start talking, I'm going to show you some Werner. Just in case you haven't seen any Werner before.
Le roc sacré.
Le roc
Oui, mes
sacré.
amis, voilà le Schneefel el Gatschokul. Elle l'a-
Man, that feels foul on my tongue.
Elle espérait que les possesseurs de la potion magique
Illuminate.
empêcheraient qu'ils tombent entre de mauvaises
Oh boy.
mains. C'est un roc, c'est un pic, c'est un cap. Que dis-je? C'est un cap. C'est un menhir. Mais oui, un menhir de cristal.
Bravo, Obélix. Désormais,
Ouais,
au lieu de dire le
French.
oui, eh ben, nous l'appellerons le menhir de cristal. Bien, c'est parfait. Avec ce fameux menhir,
So
ça va être
listen.
un jeu d'enfant de retrouver ton ami Panoramix.
Ce n'est
Ah,
pas
some
si
languages
simple.
I'm willing to listen to.
À l'époque, le
For
pouvoir
extended,
du roc provoqua divers
really
accidents.
extended
Il faillit même
amount of
détruire
times.
l'île de Tulé.
Including
Elle
Japanese.
décida alors d'extraire plusieurs éclats de la pierre pour réduire
Oh
son pouvoir.
god, does French
C'est ce
suck
qu'elle fit, et le
ass.
menhir de cristal devint une
Jesus
pierre morte,
Christ,
sans
it
aucun
sucks
pouvoir.
ass hard.
Sans ces
Oh.
3 fragments, il ne pourra pas nous aider à la retrouver.
Si j'ai bien compris, nous devons trouver les éclats manquants pour le réactiver, ce qui nous permettra de savoir où est retenu.
Mais ils sont où, ces 3 fragments qui
You should
manquent?
just cut yourself
Le
up the
premier
game.
était
You
conservé
probably
par
did. I did
Bernard,
not push a
peut-être
button.
là-bas, dans la lointaine Tulé.
Ne perdons pas de temps. Allons prévenir Abra Raccourcix, notre chef, que nous partons sur le champ.
And to be fair, these two particular motherfuckers have gotten quite around. I mean, I went to Egypt and shit, so probably the first time that they leave for some grand adventure.
Il est hors de question que tu partes encore à l'aventure.
Abra Raccourcix, notre chef, a raison. Porter des menhirs, c'est un travail de professionnel. Ça ne s'improvise pas. Mais enfin, Abra Raccourcix, elle là est prisonnière quelque part. Je dois la retrouver.
Non. La dernière fois, quand tu as quitté le village pour te chercher un remplaçant, on a frôlé la catastrophe.
Obélix et moi, nous ferons le voyage. Nous te promettons de tout faire pour aider ton ami, Panoramix.
Merci, mes amis. Je resterai donc au village durant votre voyage.
Voilà, exactement, parfaitement.
Oui, d'autant qu'il faut que je reconstitue nos réserves de potions magiques.
Panoramix, tout le village se joint à moi pour saluer ta sagesse. Avec toi dans le village, nous n'avons rien à redouter. Enfin, nous n'avons qu'une chose à craindre. C'est que le ciel nous tombe sur la tête.
Bien, en route pour Tulé. Obélix, c'est toi qui porteras le menhir de cristal.
Tu vois, idée fixe. Je me doutais qu'il me choisirait pour faire ce travail délicat.
I mean, to be fair, he's kind of professional at that
Le
whole
bateau
carrying
de
big
pêche
stone
d'Ascanonis
boulders at
est
this
en
point, so
réparation.
kind of works for
Allez
him.
demander à Épidemaïs, le marchand phénicien, de vous y conduire. J'ai vu son bateau sur la plage.
Tu vas voir, Astérix. Je sais y faire avec les menhirs.
Okay, so where do I need to go next? Eh. Well, I can see where it's supposed to be going, but I can't go there. Yeah, that's not good. And for once, using alternative modes of travel doesn't seem to be that much faster. But it won't stop me from trying. Of course. Sure, we'll get there somewhere. Ah, the Phoenician trade. Or, well, merchants. Quite the force to be reckoned with in the antique era.
Bonjour, épi de maïs. Obélix et moi, nous devons partir pour la
I do
lointaine
love that he's called
durée.
economic crisis,
Nous avons
but
besoin de ton
that's
bateau.
another topic,
Impossible,
isn't it?
Gaulois. Mon bateau ne peut pas bouger d'ici.
Pourquoi? Tu n'as plus d'équipage? Obélix et moi, on peut...
Non, j'ai perdu mon permis de naviguer. Les légionnaires d'aquarium me l'ont confisqué sous prétexte que j'avais accosté sur leur plage. Où va-t-on si on se met à privatiser les plages? Je vous le demande.
Je vois. Ne t'inquiète pas, épi de maïs. Nous allons aller au camp d'aquarium récupérer ton permis.
On va aller leur demander très poliment. Hein, Astérix? C'est vrai? Vous pouvez faire ça? Oh, si vous réussissez, je vous offre 10,
The antique.
8, disons 4 voyages gratuits.
Marché conclu, épi de maïs. Attends-nous là. On en a pas
Also
pour
the simple fact
longtemps.
that they actually did quite a few of boaty figs in the past, I have to say. Quite impressive things with the boats. Including now doing such nice things as realizing that, well, having people through your boat is nice, having sails on them is also pretty fucking nice, and coming up with good ways to actually utilizing that. And going as far as to the fucking Zin Islands, the Britain Islands, the Tin Islands, in English, if you... So, which, if you look at the map, is, considering that they have to go from the Mediterranean all the way up there, is quite impressive, I must say. Quite impressive indeed. But the traders of the antique actually were quite... Can I just swim? Ah, I guess I can wade through water. Fair enough. But yeah, actually was interesting. It's one of those topics that I too could talk about for a very long time. Yes, you know. The seafaring ways of the past do intrigue me after all. Which was a horrible idea from the get-go. The idea of basically bringing land warfare onto the seas is a horrible idea because it completely eradicates the idea of actually developing any sort of actually, oh, I don't know, naval warfare. Which they kinda try to circumvent by using stuff like bowmen on ships, which is cute, but let's just say as far as warfare on the seas is concerned, it's going to take literal centuries until we come up with something better than actually just making the sea warfare into land warfare by, you know, bringing your troops next to the enemy, letting them fight. But the Romans, listen strategy. It's not like the Romans sucked at sea warfare. They had no experience and they came up with a solution relatively quickly and beat fucking Carthage, who was very much so into that whole sea warfare nonsense, fair and square. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty fucking good at it. I'm just saying, you know, I don't agree with the, with some of the ideas they came up with because they were kind of stupid. I mean, fair enough, somewhat ingenious. Go like, okay, listen, what are we good at? We're good at land warfare with our legions, so we just bring this sort of warfare to the, well, to the seas. That's great. The whole idea of ramming other boats, yeah, that's kind of fucking stupid. I mean, it's cool, but that's stupid. Let's set it there. The Romans at least had the ingenuity to make the best of any situation and actually thrive in it, so that's really something to go for. Taking control of the seas from some of the far more experienced seafaring nations of the time, like the Phoenicians, is pretty fucking impressive. I'll give them that much. There is a fucking reason why, you know, Rome was the, at its time, the first and foremost nation of the world for quite a bit. And not even going to deny that. I'm not mean after all. Ah, see, now we have another nice little sign here telling us that apparently the other one is also there. Aquarium. Which is the German word for fish tank. But, oh well. Let's not think about that too deeply, shall we? Ah, the Romans. All they did, well, including leaving behind some nice paintings of dicks on different materials, going like, well, fuck you. Just in case you're wondering if, you know, graffiti is anything new. No, we kinda had this shit for quite a long while. The Byzantines at the last stand with some smaller states. Made a little too slow. I mean, well, first and foremost, the Byzantine Empire, well, the word Byzantine is not actually a thing. It's something that was later invented. And if memory serves, by Germans, so yeah, it's something special. Because after all, the Byzantines are nothing else than the inheritors in some part of the Roman traditions, and so to speak, to break fragile objects. Okay. How do I do this? Yeah, like this. But yeah, with Frank here, the Byzantines were just fucking later Romans trying to pretend to still be fucking Romans. And they got fucked fucking hard, fucking often, didn't they? I mean, what was it again? Was it, I think it was the, which crusade was it that Barbarossa was involved in? You know, the one where Barbarossa died, but also the one where Byzantine was sacked just along the way because, well, fuck it, we can. Basically. Okay. Supposing I need to use him then. Okay. Fair enough. Ah, the so-called Byzantine Empire is also another topic that would allow for lots and lots and lots of talks, because let's be honest, yeah, it's rather interesting. Or the fact that Barbarossa drowned in a fucking puddle, basically. I do love it. History writes the best stories. Far better than anything we can come up with. Because if we come up with something like this and we fucking make a movie about it or something, people are going to be like, yeah, no, man, that shit is so unrealistic, that could never happen. And you read a fucking history book and you go like, holy fucking shit. So this whole crusade thing, yeah, kind of awesome, you know, got all the action going on. Byzantine gets sacked and then Barbarossa fucking drowns in a puddle. I mean, it's a bit of an oversimplification of the matter in and of itself, but you get the idea of that. It is rather amusing. Rather amusing indeed. Man, I'm feeling it. You know what, I think I'm going to take a moment or so to go to the toilet. And then, since I actually don't know how long my, well, internet will last, as it has a tendency to be somewhat strange these days. I'm pretty sure he basically drowned in a puddle. In a body of water, let's say. Not like this. Barbarossa was a very unfortunate ruler of the time, let's just say. Very unfortunate, that is. Ah. Well, as unfortunate as anyone basically involved in the fucking Crusades, to be fair, but it's the topic for another day. So give me a second while I quickly look at something. What was it that I had in mind that I wanted to look about? Right, that was the one. Yes, which is why I said it is a bit of an overplaying of the actual event, but realistically speaking, he did drown in a body of water, so... Okay, let's keep this open because I kind of want to... Yes. And want to have this basically. That should serve the purpose. Okay, now for the moment I will I'll take a moment to go to the toilet and get rid of some fucking excess liquid that I have no idea how it found itself way into my body, of course. Then we'll probably take a 1 break so I can talk about some subjects. So I can create more rambles that I can then potentially load up, because right now the second channel is planned to have like 1 video, which is kinda too little. There's a second one I could potentially upload, but since they are larger than usual, it actually takes lots and lots and lots of time longer to upload them. Considering how reliable my internet is these days, I'm somewhat pressed. Somewhat pressed indeed. Actually, if you look at the main channel, there's only 1 video each day at the moment, because, well, I couldn't find a good opportunity to upload the second 10 videos or so to go along with them. Kinda annoying, that one, I must say. Oh well. That reminds me that I do need to deal with that in due time. In due time indeed. Yes. If you haven't done so in the past, read up about Barbarossa. He is one of the more funny historical creatures to have ever creatured in history. Making for a fun story to enjoy, to put it mildly. And the only question remains, when we start talking, should I drink another beer or not? Health-wise I probably shouldn't, but mood-wise I do feel it. It's one of those questions, don't you know? Well, I guess I will decide this while I quickly run my way to the bathroom. I think I will smoke a bit more once I'm back. I will indeed, strategy, I will indeed.